Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. Today's forecast video is being sponsored again by High Voltage Mobile DJ Service. You can contact Nathan at 630-9465. Visit him on the web at djhighvoltage.com and tell them Southern Indiana weather sent you. They do a great job, so for the need a DJ for any number of reasons, go check them out. All right, welcome everyone to our forecast video. Some of you are coming from the Evansville Courier and Press, and our forecast videos are now appearing there as they go up as well. So for those of you that are viewing from that site, thanks, and we appreciate you viewing. And if you've not liked the Evansville Courier and Press yet, make sure you go find them on Facebook and like them. All right. We have a little bit of a wintry mess on the way, headed our way. We're taking a look at live radar here. It is 1:12 Central Time, 2:12 Eastern Time. We've got a pretty messy situation occurring up in central Indiana and northern Indiana, really. And that looks like this batch of snow is going to stay away from us, and no worries about that here. We do have another system that's developing this way, and it is going to push our way tonight, could put down some light accumulations. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything major, but we do have a little bit of light accumulations that's going to work. Essentially what you're going to find is this will sort of track in a fashion similar to this, and so as we time it out on future radar in a moment, you'll see that really I think the largest accumulations will fall sort of in this zone, and those of us to the south will be very minor. But nonetheless, much like we saw this morning where we had off and on snow showers, some of them did stick to the roads a little bit and cause a few slick spots. And you know, whenever our temperatures go down into the teens, anything that falls from the sky frozen is going to stick. That's not warm enough to melt anything. So you know, we may see a few slick spots here in the morning as things fall, but we're not looking at anything major as we go through this. All right. We are also on the radio. Really quickly, I wanted to mention this, especially for our new followers that haven't seen this much. If you listen to 103.3 The Fix, you can hear our forecasts daily on that. You can go to 1033thefix.com and find that. We're also on WBDC up in Jasper as well. So if you listen to those radio stations, you can hear our forecasts. All right, let's time out what we're going to expect. Here we are, pretty much where we are now, and we've got that swath up in northern Indiana and crossing in. Watch how this moves through northern Indiana today. Pretty much skirts us by. I expect we'll stay pretty much with just a little bit of sunshine and mostly clouds this afternoon. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about the snow showers as much as we had this morning. But we have another batch moving our way tonight, and as we head into the overnight hours, remember these first light gray shades are very light snow showers, flurries, things like this. It's just very light precipitation. You can see that snow swath that I showed you on live radar a moment ago. It's tracking towards northern and central Indiana here, and then just sort of watch how it tracks through, and really some of the heavier parts of the precipitation track, maybe according to this, as far south as just north of the Vincennes area. So it is getting a little bit into our area, but you know, we do still have some of these lighter shades down here. So again, that's snow showers. This is for 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. So as we continue on with this, you see that quickly moves off, but then we have another little disturbance that moves our way by later in the day on Sunday, which will also create some snow showers for us. Then that quickly moves through, and you notice yet another blob moving to our south, and that may just sort of skirt us by on Monday as well. So a very active pattern setting up, but fortunately for us, it doesn't look like it's going to be a ton of accumulation. If we just take a look at what our forecast model here is predicting for accumulation, the first light blue shade up here starts the 2-inch zone. And so really you've got 1 inch here, the darker gray being 1.5 inches and 2. So you got 2 to 3 inches predicted with this system by the time it's all said and done for northern Indiana. But really for those of us down here in the southern part of the state, a dusting, maybe a little bit more than a dusting at some points in time, but certainly we're not looking at anything aggressive with this. Just more of an annoying snow where, you know, if you could see it during the daytime, it might just look pretty, might put a few slick spots down, but again, it's just one of those cold gray days with an annoying snow more than it is anything that you could build a snowman out of or anything like that. So That's what's going on for this weekend. Let's talk more about the extended pattern a little bit. Let me get this back here. We'll put this into motion. Here we are this afternoon and evening. Here we are where there's this light snow accumulation that's moving to our north. We're watching this system eject out of Iowa and move our way overnight tonight. And the GFS is indicating that a good 2 to 3 inches are also possible up in northern Indiana. Maybe some light, again, the very light shades of gray are just the light precipitation here. It extends it a little farther south into us as well. So again, this particular model also confirming that we could have some snow showers, but nothing much accumulation-wise for us with this. We got another little system, an upper-level system that ejects on Sunday, moves through the area. Again, could put down a dusting to a half inch at best for some of us, but the GFS is also not aggressive with this system. Then from that, we've got some more systems that move to our south, but high pressure slides in and really takes control for Tuesday and Wednesday for the most part. As that moves off to the east, though, we have a fairly active period after that setting up. We notice we have another little southern system that moves up here on Thursday, and this could give us a potential for a rain-snow mix. Highs on Thursdays actually may warm up to the upper 30s, so of course that's good. If we end up with a little bit of snow, then it's going to help with not sticking to the roads, but it looks like it could be more of a rain-snow mix at this point. But and actually, the precipitation amounts with this look pretty impressive. I mean, by the time you get into these first shades of blue, you're talking about a couple of inches. And if this were all snow, and as it stays over you for different periods of time, then you can get more accumulation. So I think it's going to start out as a rain-snow mix, though. Probably turn into some all snow on the back side of the system. The first blue line here is what we call the 540 thickness line. Basically, it's the rain-snow changeover line. The way to interpret that is everything north of it should be snow, everything south of it should be rain. It doesn't always work out that way, but it's just one of many tools that we can use to give us an idea where that rain-snow line would take place. It's well to the south of us, so as we go, as the system exits, we've still got some light snow on the back side of the system to deal with. So my latest thinking at this point is we probably will get some accumulation out of this, but right now totals aren't looking overly impressive because it starts off as that rain-snow mix. As temperatures fall, again, we may see some out of it, but something we'll just have to see. We're still 5 or 6 days away from that happening. Now beyond that, we remain in a pretty active period. You can see yet another disturbance moves through here on Saturday the 15th. We'll have to watch this time frame pretty closely because as we go through different models, if I were to show you the Euro or the Canadian model, the timing is a little bit different on this. And some of the models have hinted at this falling on Valentine's Day, which of course would make a terrible Valentine's Day present for folks as you're going out and having dinners with your sweeties to have snow showers and things. So, but right now, the way the GFS at least is taking it, it's more of a Friday night into Saturday morning things. Would avoid the Valentine's rush that night and fall overnight. But this would give us a decent little of accumulation the way it's pictured right now too. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Again, whenever you get this far out into the models, the truth of the matter is the models change pretty rapidly from run to run the further out in time you go. So it may say this one thing and it may say no to that the next run, and then it may go back and forth like this. Really, in models this far out, flip-flop just like politicians do. And how often have we heard politicians make a promise in Washington and not keep it? And I'm not slamming any political party. It just seems like they all happen that way. Models are a lot the same way. Models say one thing's going to happen, oftentimes they don't, so we have to take it with a grain of salt when we get this particular far out. But as of right now, we could get some potential accumulations there. We'll have to see. Keeping on moving forward in time. Notice the red lines move over us and cover us, and the blue lines move well to our north. That's indicative of a warm up. That'll be a welcome change for us. What it brings with it may not be so much of a welcoming change, though. We got a little bit of rain. I'm not opposed to rain, but notice this: you've got a fairly long, fairly decent high pressure, a fairly decent low pressure moving through here, and it pretty much tracks right over us. And with the warm temperatures, of course, the one thing that we worry about is if we warm abnormally warm during this time, we would worry about severe weather. I'm not as worried about it with this one because here, if you want to draw a cold front on these, here's your low pressure right here that you can see. And if we were to draw a cold front on it, see how these lines connect like that? You draw the cold front sort of connected right through these lines right there. And I want you to notice where the precipitation is. The precipitation's on the back side of the cold front with this. That's a good thing because that's a non-severe weather type of event. You need the precipitation to precede the cold front and not be behind the cold front if you want severe weather. So as of right now, it's saying no to severe weather. Again, the models have really flip-flopped back and forth on this, so we will see. But it does take us to near 60 degrees at that time frame. And then you've got a decent little warm-up right behind that system coming out, and this is one that I think that we will need to watch. Look at the heavy rain that this is, and by the way, this is all rain at this point, and it's a very heavy rain event moving over us as we get into about the Saturday the 22nd of February time frame. One thing working in our favor is you've got the cold front sort of dragging just along like this. Moving in on the early morning hours would favor a less of a severe weather threat because you don't have the daytime heating involved with it. But as you know, we've had a lot of severe weather threats overnight around here, so that we won't rule it out by any means. Do have some items in going for us in the favor of severe weather, though. You notice you have a negatively tilted trough. A negatively tilted trough is essentially a trough that's pointed up and down in this direction. Whenever the low is sort of taking on a tilt like that, remember winds wrap counterclockwise around the low, so what it's going to be doing is taking this Gulf moisture and just sort of being a conveyor belt and pumping it up. And when you have a negatively tilted trough, it can pump up that moisture towards us much more effectively than it can if it were positively tilted, which would be more like this way. So negatively tilted lows favor severe weather a lot more. So this is something that we're going to have to watch. Let me pull up the temperature map on that and you'll see exactly what. All right, pulled up the temperature map here. Sorry about the pause there, folks. I just wanted to make sure I got it to the right time here. And what you can see is 60s overtaking the area. And so this, this again, our normal high temperature this time of year is 45, so we could be potentially 15 degrees above normal. Wouldn't that be a nice change instead of the 15 and 20 degrees below normal like we've been experiencing? Hold on, it's coming, but again, anytime you get a huge surge of above normal temperatures, it usually comes with a price, so that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But this is definitely one of those types of storms that we'll want to keep an eye on. But I want you to notice on the back side of that system what happens. We go under the blue lines again, so this is not something that sticks around. Unfortunately, it's not just one of these types of warm-ups that, we're going to warm up, it's an early spring, the darn groundhog lied. No, unfortunately, it looks like we're not looking at an early spring by any means. It looks like winter is here to hold on. We may get a couple of brief reprieves, but I don't see any indication right now in the next 15 days that we're going to be warming up and stayed warming up for that matter. And then it just continues on cold through the rest of the time period. Temperature-wise, output for Evansville here, we'll take a look at Evansville today for the next 15 days, and you can see, remember 45 is a normal high. Again, later in the month we return to normal. This is not as aggressive with some of the extreme 60 temperatures like what the GFS model particular was. The ensembles don't have quite the same resolution as this particular model does, and so they don't always see those things. But again, the pattern here is we stay cold for a few days, but we return to at least a more normal frame by the end of the month, which would be nice. All right. SouthernIndianaWeather.com, folks. Go check it out, and you can get your 7-day forecast. 29 for a high today. Looking at cold. We had our snow till midday. Again, some snow tonight. Snow showers possible on Sunday, only a high of 32 down to 15 Sunday night, and then just partly cloudy and cold the next couple of days. And it is cold with temperatures in the mid-20s and lows even on Monday night down into the single digits. So we're definitely looking at cold. Some light snow showers possible on Wednesday, but the models aren't quite as aggressive as they are whenever I made this forecast earlier. So we'll keep an eye on that. But again, a rain-snow mix still looks possible on Thursday, and that's a system that we're going to have to watch. And then beyond that, for the Saturday time frame as well. Just some things that we're going to have to keep an eye on. All right. Be sure to like us on Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/Southern Indiana Weather. Make sure you go over and click the like button. We have all kinds of things that we post on here, and this is by far the most by far the easiest way to keep up to date with what's going on in the weather. So be sure to go give us a like, and don't forget we've got a great interactive radar on the product that you can go check out on the website as well. We've got a lot of great things coming up in the works, folks, and including just a quick preview for you. Yes, we're working on a mobile app even as we speak. So, and it will have a great live interactive radar just like what we have on the website, and this thing is going to be a great tool and asset to have in your hands along with our 7-day forecast as well. So it's not going to look exactly like this. I'm still tweaking around on things, but we're excited about this. You'll be able to get our forecast videos on your phone and a whole lot more. So there's a lot of great things going on. Be sure to hang in there with us, and thanks for your support watching the videos. Tell your friends about it and be sure to share us, all right? A little bit of light snow tonight, but we'll get through it. Another one of these videos coming up tomorrow for Southern Indiana weather. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day, folks, and stay safe.